I'm 19F, I have a 3-week-old baby girl. I do still live with my parents, but since I pay rent equally, they say I can have just as much of a say in who comes and goes from the house as they do. I've never actually taken advantage of this rule until recently enough. I have a brother, who's 26 and his wife is 24. They're crunchy parents to a 8-month-old. Basically what that is fucking stupid. They use reusable wipes, nappies, think formula is the epitome of evil, baby wearing, the list just goes on. I'm the complete opposite, pacifiers, supplementing with formula due to low supply, disposable wipes and nappies. They are completely against the products I use and often give me things like CL's breast milk in bags, disposable nappies their low has grown out of, etc. I've used some but it's not really my cup of tea. On Monday night, my father and Sil were minding my baby for me since it was my birthday and my baby's father, not together, very close friends and co-parents, took me to get some dinner in one of my favorite fast food places. It was great and really relaxing. When I got home that evening, my Sil said that she did some cleaning and threw out anything I don't need. This immediately gave me red flags, but they were in a hurry to get out the door and left almost immediately. When I went into the nursery, every disposable nappy and wipe pack was gone and replaced with some reusable cloth ones. Same with my formula, there was 8 tubs and all of it was gone. I'm not able to replace them at the moment and solely breastfeeding isn't sustainable for us. I was extremely angry and I just turned my phone off to avoid being mean to my Sil. She and my brother came over yesterday to collect something they forgot and that was when I confronted her. I told her she has to replace everything she dumped. When she said she can't afford to, I said fine, just get out and don't come back until I've been reimbursed or everything is replaced with the original items. My brother thinks I'm being a massive asshole and he's on his wife's side. Our parents think him being completely reasonable here, but they think telling her essentially not to come back is taking it too far. Ada? I'm 60 and bad with the whole text thing on mobiles, so I'm hoping I won't be judged on my grammar. Here's the important background. My daughter-in-law, 32, and son 33 have 3 children aged 3 years, 2 years and 4 months. He convinced her to be a stay-at-home mom and sell her business by telling her how good of a childhood he had and how happy my marriage was without telling her, which I today found out, that our arrangement was everything before 9 a.m. and after 5 p.m. was split 50-50. Sunday was my day off and I was brought out twice a week. On to the story. On my last visit I noticed my daughter-in-law was struggling mentally, so I, my sister 55F and her girlfriend, 53, pulled our money together and paid for a spa weekend for them while we'd babysit the kids for her birthday last weekend. I was preparing on Thursday evening for the kids to arrive when my dill rang me holding back tears saying they won't be going because my son's friend came to town and he said he wanted to spend the weekend with his friends catching up. I pressed her a little and I'm talking a little about her situation. She came clean about him doing no chores, no date nights and her basically doing all of the child care because that's what stay-at-home moms do. I was honestly disgusted. I convinced her to drop me off the kids and bring a friend to the spa. Even dipped into my savings to give her 500 euros to buy herself something nice. When she dropped me off the kids I begged her to tell me where son was. After 5 minutes she told me the bar. She left for the spa while I left for the bar. She knew I was going there and knew my sister-in-law were taking care of the kids. Here's where I might be the asshole. I went to the bar where he and his friends were. I sat down next to the group and asked my son, did I fail you as a mother or was it your father, because we both thought your partner comes before your silly drunk friends. The post is getting long enough, but long story short I humiliated him and got myself banned from a bar. My dill said she will taking the kids to her parents when she gets back tomorrow and my son is calling me an asshole for humiliating him / sticking my nose in his marriage. Maybe I should have stayed out, I don't know. Edit. I just wanted to say I'm heartbroken, not by any judgment towards me or my parenting skills, but the fact a lot of people are shocked I care about my daughter-in-law's mental health and stood up for her against my son's bad behavior. I just want to say as a mother my advice is, treat your daughter/son/ non-binary in-laws how you'd want your children to treated. Respect goes a long way. It's a complex situation, but I'll do my best to explain. I am 45, have a bio son Leo, 16 from my previous relationship. I married his stepmom, who is a mother of 2 boys: Connor, 20, deceased, and Derek, 12. I've never had the pleasure to meet Connor, who tragically passed away from a motorcycle accident. Derek was so devastated by this loss, and although it's been years, he's still pretty much grieving. I've seen tons of pictures and videos of Connor and made efforts to get to know who he was as a way to share Derek's grief and be there for him, to lend an ear and a comforting shoulder. It's safe to say that Derek and I grew a strong bond in no time. But my son Leo isn't close to Derek. Understandable, because not all siblings and step-siblings are the same. Leo and Derek are different in everything, which isn't a bad thing, but Leo calls himself the brutally honest type and makes insensitive comments about Derek most of the time. They tend to be under the guise of advice. Derek never complained, so I had to step in and tell Leo to stop being insensitive towards his stepbrother, especially with everything regarding Connor and his memory. Leo would say, "Okay, I get it and I won't do it again." Days ago, Leo wanted to hang out with friends and asked Derek if he wanted to join. Derek agreed and put on Connor's hoodie before going out. Leo commented on the hoodie and called it ugly and asked him to put on something else, but Derek insisted on wearing it or not go. Leo dropped it. Hours later, Derek came home crying with his hoodie in hand. He said Leo and friends cut it into pieces while he was in the bathroom after they convinced him to take it off. I was furious. I asked Leo and he said it was his friend's idea, then said he had to do it since Derek wears it everywhere and it looked old and embarrassing. I reminded him who this hoodie belonged to and he said, "So what, maybe this will help him move on in life." I told him his birthday was cancelled and his friends aren't welcome anymore. He pitched a fit saying his birthday was a right, not a privilege, and I can't cancel it. He had my ex criticize my decision and wanted to host his birthday party, but I refused because he's grounded, so no party anywhere. She and her family called me awful and ridiculous and asked me to think how Leo will hate me for this, but I insisted he needed punishment for putting his stepbrother through this. Note: the hoodie belonged to Connor when he was younger and Derek kept it. Final update: thank you all for all the awards and comments. I'm known to be a huge pushover, and my friend knows this to be true, and she can be pretty manipulative and caused me to second guess myself. She also still isn't talking to me, which is fine by me. As for the package, our mutual friend found the box it was supposed to be shipped in by the trash in front of her house, so I guess she's not shipping it anymore. I don't know what was in it, but all evidence and other context, which is too long to post, points to it being a substance. At this point, I'm hoping that it was just weed and not something more dangerous. Once again, thank you everyone. I will soon be flying to the other side of the world, and my friend asked me to take a package with me and deliver it to her friend who lives in the country I am flying to. Now, I trust my friend with my life, but I told her that since it's an international flight and taking unneeded risks are unwise, I would appreciate it if I can open the package, with her present, and look through it just to make sure there's nothing undesirable in it. My friend immediately gets offended, and she even starts yelling at me, telling me how she can't believe that I don't trust her, and that I am invading her privacy. She told me I'm being selfish and paranoid, and that she won't let me see inside the package because it has sensitive content. That ended up freaking me out more, so I told her that I can't do it if I can't make sure it's safe, and that I'm sorry. She started to cry and left the room. She later left me a text saying I'm selfish and that she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. While I feel bad, I have heard all kinds of stories and I don't want to put into a position where I am responsible for whatever sensitive content in her package. Reddit, Ada? Edit 1, a comment here made me want to add more context. I trust my friend a lot, but I should mention that my friend is known to cultivate weed and then store them in spice jars. I could have sworn I heard noises of glass in the package, and she has joked before that she could smuggle weed disguised as a spice or herb or something and that they wouldn't know a thing. I do trust her, but I just want peace of mind, you know. I'm sad she's offended, but I just wish she could understand my POV. Edit 2, wow. I woke up to so much engagement in this post. Thank you all for your replies and assuring me I'm NTA. And thanks for the awards. As for updates, my friend hasn't spoken to me since the incident and has had a message delivered to me via a mutual friend saying the only way she'll talk to me is if I take this package from her, and trust in our friendship. However, I heard from my other friend that the person I was supposed to deliver the package to has a reputation involving drugs, And while we didn't get into details, my friend just said and not for using them. I don't want to accuse anyone of anything, rumors fly and innocent until proven guilty, but I am definitely not taking that package anymore, unless I can get a pretty good look at it. Edit 3, I just saw a comment asking me if I know a Jason who stores olives in his fridge. I replied this to them, sorry for replying late. Funny enough, her boyfriend's name is Jason. Fun fact to enhance this story, he loves a show called Breaking Bad so bad that he legally gave himself the middle name Walter. But sadly I do not know if they keep their olives refrigerated. I just read the story in question about Jason and his refrigerated olives, there may be a connection. But then again, most likely not. I'll try my best to do some digging, but if I'm being honest, I'm kind of freaked out enough by the situation to avoid investigating anything for my own safety, and I'll update this story as long as you guys are interested. Once again thank you all. My 16F brother Nate, 17M, was diagnosed with AIDS when he was 12. At first I walked on eggshells around him, but things are much better now. Most family members know and understand that AIDS is not just tantrums but a serious issue. Some do not. One of my cousins, Kira, 17F, is one of those people. Ever since my parents informed the family about Nate being diagnosed, she has done nothing but intentionally push his buttons at every family gathering, outing or whenever we are together. My parents have talked to my uncle and aunt about this, but they brush it off, calling it pranks. Now my parents will not under any cost damage relations with my dad's brother and his family or my dad's other siblings. None of my other cousins like Kira or her family. We are forced to be cordial because of our parents. Kira has to be invited every time us cousins hang out together, most of the time ending with Nate being triggered by Kira. The day before yesterday we all planned to watch a movie. Our parents knew this, so of course they told Kira's parents, who told her. She messaged me and asked me where and when we were supposed to meet at. My brother had been really looking forward to this movie and meeting our cousins after a few months in person. He had also been in a really good mood and I didn't want Kira to ruin it, so I did what I thought was best at the time. I gave her the wrong timing. I told my cousins and Nate what I did and they were fully on board. After the movie finished, we came out of the theater and waited for some time in the parking lot. As soon as we saw Kira pulling over, waving at us, all of us waved back with the sweetest smiles, made a run for our cars, got in and left. As expected, when me and Nate reached home we were immediately ambushed by our parents about why we abandoned Kira. Apparently she had cried all the way home. My parents grounded me and Nate for 2 weeks. He surprisingly took it well and said it was worth it. The rest of my cousins were grounded as well. I did text them telling them they could tell their parents it was my idea, but my cousins refused and reiterated what my brother had said. I thought that was the end of it, but my parents have been really hurt by this and said me and Nate humiliated them in front of Kira's parents and that Kira has been inconsolable since. Edit. So a lot of people are wondering why I invited her rather than telling her outright not to come. I didn't invite her. My parents did. Also, if I tried to deny the invitation, then none of my aunts or uncles or my parents would have let us go. I see how waiting around may have been an asshole move. AIDS is intermittent explosive disorder. So Reddit, Ada?